The evolution of music, and this will make you sick. It's Rhyme and Reason 752.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why.
Hey there, Tony here. You know what would be a lot of fun? Let's talk about the evolution of music. Are you with me? But let's don't do it in some, boring musician way like I probably would do it. Let's start with a discussion about it that I found it on a government website. Yeah, I got your undivided attention now, right? Okay, check out this interesting paragraph that that government site left on their pages about the evolution of music. Now, this is kind of a long quote, but this is a quote from them. And I'm going to read it just like they left it there, okay? This is their words. Music is a core human experience, and generative processes reflect cognitive capabilities. Music is often functional because it is something that can promote human well-being by facilitating human contact, human meaning, and human imagination of possibilities, tying into our social instincts. Cognitive systems also underlie musical performance and sensibilities. Music is one of those things that we do spontaneously, reflecting brain machinery linked to communicative functions enlarged and diversified across a broad array of human activities. Music cuts across diverse cognitive capabilities and resources, including numeracy, language, and space perception. In the same way, music intersects with cultural boundaries, facilitating our social self by linking our shared experiences and intentions. This paper focuses on the intersection between the neuroscience of music and human social functioning to illustrate the importance of music to human behaviors. Oh, man, that is super duper. All right? It warms my heart just to even read it. But I got a quick question. What'd that paragraph say? What were they talking about? Besides starting 4 sentences with the word music, that paragraph also thoroughly facilitates a lot of cognition, doesn't it? And let's don't leave out the diversity. I never leave out the diversity. And on a side note, it seems like an article that didn't talk about diversity would be a very diverse article from most other articles. But anyway, if you go with the dictionary definition of the word evolution, then of course you'd have to be impressed with the evolution of music. My handy digital dictionary says the gradual development of something, especially from a simple to a more complex form. Yeah, okay. All you have to do is start with something simple, like, let's say, Handel's Messiah. And, just a snippet of that musical composition by some simpleton from the 18th century, what they know back then, right? Sure, it's divided into 3 sections that, each contain multiple scenes comprised of dozens of other sections. And, so what? Sure, the music was composed for an orchestra. Who cares? At a time when every part had to be played by a corresponding musician. Give me a break. I mean, yeah, the composition included a wide range of vocal parts, and those had to be sung by corresponding singers, but what a mess, right? It's so simple, such a simpleton. Now, let's compare that. Let's move the music up to a more complex form, like, let's say, Kanye West's Bad Guy. I'm not going to share the lyrics to the rap thing, whatever it is, because actually they're vulgar, and the beat is repetitive, to say the least, and the least is what I prefer to say. But obviously, it's a more complex form because, evolution of music, it's evolved, and because, nigga is so highbrow, I just feel, enriched by even saying it myself. Please, let me get a little bit serious. Avoid 99.9999% of all rap lyrics and songs because they are not an evolved level of music. They are about as far away from music as you can get. But I didn't share all this just to, harp on and razz on rap. It Rap is just a symptom. The underlying disease is a hate culture, and it's sowed and reaped in a government-controlled education system. From kindergarten to college and beyond, kids are indoctrinated to believe they're just another animal. And they evolved from a lower form of life, and they're no better or worse than a reptile. Yeah, I think a reptile came up with that. The culture of hate is at its core aimed at God first. We can remember that. But then it's aimed at you and me, or anyone who loves God. And the culture of hate says it's okay to steal from the rich, assault the elderly, and murder unborn babies. Yeah, they say that is okay because they're so evolved. But too bad music hasn't evolved enough for a singer-songwriter to write a song or two against this culture. Oh, wait a second.
Would you like to reach the top and never have the journey stop? Say yeah. Say yeah. Could you try to hold a hand just to help somebody stand? Say yeah. Say yeah, yeah. Would you give a word or two to win a soul, to win a few? Say yeah. Say yeah. Do you want to change the way public servants act today? Say yeah. Say yeah, yeah. How many laws have to be passed before we're as good in the shadows they cast? And how many plans must we invent before we can step beyond mere intent? Do you see the pattern form? How the wrong becomes the norm? Say yeah. Say yeah. Would you like to stop the right? Could you dare to take a side? Say yeah. Say yeah, yeah. How many cuts are we to take before we can see just whose blood is at stake? We can't leave the job to the land of the free, 'cause when it boils down, that's just you and me. If we don't watch, someone will be watching for us. If we don't care, how can we complain? We don't have to give it up and say it's over. We can change it here. We don't have to live in fear. We don't have to cry in vain. Would you like to reach the top and never have the journey stop? Say yeah. Say yeah. Could you try to hold a hand just to help somebody stand? Say yeah. Say yeah, yeah. Would you give a word or two to win a soul, win a few? Say yeah. Say yeah. Do you want to change the way public servants act today? Say yeah. Say yeah, yeah. Do you see the pattern forming? How the wrong becomes the norm? Say yeah. Say yeah. Would you like to stop the right? Could you dare to take a side? Say yeah. Say yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Say yeah. I brought up a few little things in there that stand up to, what's going on in the culture. Okay, that does it for me, Tony Funderburk, brought to you by TonyFunderburk.com. This is the Rhyme and Reason podcast. Thank you for tuning in once again, and I'm going to remind you, as I always do, that life has rhyme and reason only because God made you.
There's a rhyme and reason.